Here's a list of prestigious record labels. Today I'm going to be sending them my demos and hopefully land a deal. Usually I make hip hop music, but over the past year I've been making a lot of dance music with the plan to DJ and play my music live. Now here's the thing, in hip hop it's more encouraged to be an independent artist and release your songs yourself, because record labels just have a terrible reputation for ripping off their artists and giving them bad deals. But in the dance music scene it's a little bit different. Record labels are a huge part of the culture and can completely change the trajectory of a DJ's career. They can get your tracks to bigger DJs who will then go out and play it to huge audiences and get you exposure. And a lot of times the record labels, they curate a specific kind of sound and fans become loyal followers of these record labels. So when you release your music with them, it's more than just releasing music. You're tapping into an existing fan base. And because they hold so much weight in the game, it's like a badge of honor. It's basically clout points. People see that you've released under so-and-so label, they're gonna take you seriously. Now, everything sounds great on paper, but in reality, releasing on a record label is hard. As you can imagine, there's just a ton of competition. I've gone through and I've watched a bunch of interviews of record label A&Rs who essentially are the people who say, yes, we want to sign this, or no, we don't. The gatekeepers. And they're given like a bunch of tips on like the best ways to get signed. Honestly, there's so many factors, but the main thing they all say is really about the music. So for the next few weeks, I've spent as much time as possible making music. I was really trying to figure out my sound and try and find a balance between something that's unique, but also something that sounds familiar. When you think about it, it's quite a tricky thing to send music to A&Rs because music is just so subjective. Everybody's taste is different. But I do think there is a baseline of quality music. And if you have a good idea and you can make something that evokes feeling or just evokes some sort of emotion when someone's listening, then I think you're on the right path there. So I have an idea to mix some new jazz with some house. I really love new jazz kind of beats, but I thought, what if we made it more for the rave? I finished it up. It's got quite a bit of detail, to be honest. A lot of automations in that. I'll give you a little preview. See if I got that underground bass in there. Hey. Probably one of my favorite ones I made. It was a lot of fun making that. One thing that I do, I like to test out my music. I've tested this one out, played it on the decks, played it to a couple of people just to get a gauge, a feeling of what people are thinking. But you know what's funny? Whenever I make a track that I like and I play it to people, they don't like it. But when I play them something that I spent 5 minutes making, I'm not really feeling it. It seems to be the ones that stand out and they like the most. I've never understood that, but it happens all the time. I can't be the only one. It's like the universe is just messing with you. I just finished up one of my tracks. Definitely the music is getting faster, way more intense. I think it's trance, but it could be also techno or some sort of house. I don't really know at this point. I'm trying not to think about too much of what a label wants, because then it just messes up the creation process. I'm just free flowing and whatever comes out, comes out. This is how it sounds. Hey. Definitely something for the rave. If you know where that sample came from, let me know in the comments below. But this track, this is a bit different to anything I've created. I basically chopped up a melody and it's got like a trancey kind of vibe. Check this out. Really simple, not much going on, but it's just vibey. Feeling this one. And as the track progresses, more and more elements get added and loads of tension and all that kind of stuff, loads of automation. I'm having a lot of fun making these kind of tracks. I'm thinking as well, I might go to a studio to just mix them down because in this room it's extremely echoey. I don't have sound panels or anything. So it's a bit of a challenge trying to get all the levels right. When I think I've got it and I listen in my headphones, bass is loud, drums are too quiet. That's not really a good first impression when we send to these labels. So I've pretty much gone on a detective spree and found a list of labels that I think my sound could fit on based on all the stuff that they've released in the past. The easiest way I terrifying to do this is to just go on Spotify, find the artist that you like, go to their music and see who they've been released by. Here's the email that I'm going to be sending out to labels. Hi X, and that should be like the name of the A&R if you know it. I'm a huge fan of the music coming from your label, especially the latest release that I just listened to. I thought my music would be a great fit, so here's a link to my music, and the link that I'm going to be putting is SoundCloud because it's just a clean, easy way, short and sweet. These A&Rs get a lot of submissions and they're super busy, so we don't want to waste their time. And to be honest, if we get some sort of reply, even if it's a no, then I think that's something. Also, I got this really cool email tracking tool. You enable it on your Gmail, and every time you send an email, it gives you like a tick to say that they received it, and then it gives you a tick to show that they've opened it. You can see when they've read your email, how many times, if the links were clicked, to see if they've listened to it. Bit of like a little spy tool there. And even in SoundCloud, when you send them the links individually, you'll see how many plays and how many downloads they get. So it's just kind of like a way to see if they've listened. And if they don't respond, then you know that they're not interested. That's another key thing that I've learned too. When you're sending in your SoundCloud links, try and send them individually. From what I've heard, it puts off A&Rs if there's already like 100 plays on it. That means you've just been kind of sending it around to a ton of labels. Even though that's kind of what we're doing, but we don't want them to know that. I definitely have some preferred labels, some of my dream labels that I would love to release on that I just think would be a match made in heaven. I've got a variety of labels, some that are really big, some that are a lot smaller. I'm not going to name them here just yet, but yeah, now we just have to send and wait and see. It's been about a week since I sent off my demos, and I can see how many times my song has actually been played through SoundCloud, and I can see also who's been opening my emails. So far, we've had a few responses. I had one guy literally just straight up say, not for us. So I'm going to spend the rest of the evening emailing some new demos and hopefully get a more positive response and maybe something signed. So it's been about 2 weeks now since I sent the first emails out to the record labels, and here's the results. We got a total of 4 responses out of the 35 emails that I sent out. One email essentially just saying no, doesn't really fit the sound that we're trying to go for, which is fair enough. One that led to a phone call, and it seems like they're really interested, but the timing just isn't there right now. Hopefully though, touch wood, I release on this record label in the future, because I feel like this one is just a perfect fit. We've got another response from a smaller label, but it seems like they're interested, but just nothing there yet. And we got one big response. I cannot believe it. So one of the labels that I sent to, they got back to me and they literally said they want to sign one of the tracks that I sent on the first go as well, the first batch that I sent out. This is like one of the bigger labels as well. So I am super gassed. I'm gonna send off all the things that they're asking for, and then we'll see what happens, but that's very good news. Yeah, I'm very happy about that. That's amazing. So we got one record potentially signed, which is an amazing result, and hopefully that one will drop very soon. They sent me over the contract, so right now I'm just going back and forth with them to finalize and make sure everything's good there. Since this is the first contract that I'm signing as an artist, not just a producer agreement, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit unsure what to do. So I got a lawyer to look through all the paperwork and make sure everything's good. Also, just to get a better understanding of contracts, one little hack that I did was just throw this into ChatGPT, get ChatGPT to analyze it all, and then I'll just ask questions like, is there any important issues I should be aware of that is not in my favor? And it will kind of just point out all the stuff. Definitely not in place of a lawyer, but this does definitely help. I think sending demos through emails can definitely work, but it can be also very hit and miss, because essentially you are just a stranger, a name on a screen that is sending in music, just like the other hundreds of people that are doing exactly the same thing as you. I think a better strategy would be to try and just put a name to face as quickly as possible, whether that's engaging through social media and sending DMs or trying to meet up with them face to face. One thing that I'm going to be doing in October, I'm going to an event called ADE, which is a huge event for producers and labels and A&Rs and all that kind of stuff. They come together in Amsterdam and they network. So literally, I'm just about to pull up on some A&Rs and slide them through the USB like, check this out. I'll definitely recommend shooting your shot. You just never know what could happen. Even if you don't get any positive responses in the beginning, just keep going, keep being consistent and persistent.